Welcome back, welcome back. Hope my last video didn't offend nobody, but when you say what you feel, you more than likely will offend somebody, so I ain't apologizing. But I will say sorry if I hurt your feelings. It's not my MO. You can think maybe, you know, trying to like do whatever. I'm just speaking my mind. And I'm speaking to the ones that actually trying to do something with their life. Even if it's not a lot. Still gotta do something. Besides just go to work. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, just because I'm not a leader, I guess, or something, I don't know if that's the right word. More of be a part of something. That's a better word, because I don't care if I'm a leader of it or someone that follows someone that actually knows what the fuck they're doing. Like, there's nothing wrong with following. Perfect example. The only way to love the Lord, the book says this. The only way to love the Lord is to follow his commandments. So what that means is when you literally start to enact the law, you try to become this better person, you're no longer leading your own life. You didn't make it up, and you're following, so you're actually a follower. We're all followers of the Most High. Period. We all got a leader. Well, some of us do. Most of you don't even really look at the Lord as a leader to you. You look at him as like a genie. Like, most people look at God as like a genie. He's just there to fill your wishes, for you to beg for shit, and be there for you in your times of need. He's not supposed to, I don't know, be worshipped. It took me a real long time to understand what that word worship means. I always thought like it meant like doing the rituals and stuff, you know what I mean? Like putting on a certain clothes and all of that stuff. But to worship is just to follow. It's just to listen to and allow someone to take command. So when I started to understand these things biblically, and it said that, the people that don't follow the laws of the Bible, they are not with the Lord because they choose to. They choose to worship the creation. Now, that goes along like a lot of different ways because, like, all right, it took me a long time to understand why we have all these other religions and stuff. And I didn't understand that the Bible didn't necessarily come first. the word speaking has always been here. Like, you have to get these things in a context. Before people wrote things down, we told each other things and we actually could remember. Now, when you study the Bible long enough and start diving into different chapters and starting to see that chapter 1 will start talking about the beginning and then it goes into other things, and then near maybe like the 5th book, maybe the 6th book of the Bible, it starts jumping around. It'll start talking about the future, and then it'll go back to the past, and then it'll go to the future, because these men that are writing these things down are in the past. They were told to write down what was going on. And then it says that the Lord showed them the future. Now, I've read a lot or listened to a lot of videos of the Quran and Buddhism and all these other things. And I understand how people say you got to read books and everything and you all that stuff. Eat a dick, first of all, because I'm not no regular, like, look at a video guy. I will watch 10 different videos on the Quran. Like, this one time, recently, I started studying the Quran. It was like a 3-hour video. And I literally would go to work every day and just listen to the Quran. Because I work for like 4 to 5 hours at my job, part-time. So I figure, you know what? I'm working. I ain't doing nothing. And the Lord pushed me to go start looking at this book again. So I start looking at it, or listening to it. And it blew my mind, because when I first started studying the Quran in my earlier journey, in my early years, when I first started looking for the Lord, I liked it. I didn't understand things, but I liked it because it had a lot to do with, like, they don't fuck around. And I like that. I like the fact that they're so raw. Like, basic example. I heard this funny joke today, and it was the truth. This guy, Andrew Tate, says he's like a professional kickboxer or something like that, right? So I'm watching this skit on him, and he says Christians and Muslims are completely different. And he likes the Muslim people, the way they carry their faith, more than the Christians. And he explains why. He says, in Christianity now, they favor a lot of things. Like, they will, he said, you can have a woman preacher, you can have a gay preacher, you can literally break the laws and in the house of their God. And he says, what do you stand for then? Your book says don't do these things, don't allow these things, and then you don't do it, but you're really a Christian? And that's when I added in, can you pay attention? Can you not run me over? And like I said, I added that in my mind. I was like, oh, see, he gets it. Like, if you literally say you love this book and this Lord, this Jesus or whatever, then why don't you do what he says he told you to do? Because if you don't, then you really don't follow that religion. You just do whatever you want to do. And then he said, the joke was that he made, he said, now, he said, I can go into London with a shirt that says Jesus is gay. And I could walk around, I can go to the United States, I could walk around with a shirt that says Jesus is gay. And nothing will happen. He said, if I go to like a Islamic country and you walk down the street with a shirt that says Muhammad is gay, you're not making it down the whole block, he says. He said you won't make it down the block. You're going to die. And I was like, he ain't lying, because they don't play that. Because that's what's in their book. It says don't allow people to disrespect the Most High. And like I said, I like that. And in my earlier days, I heard a lot of words that I ain't understand, like Israel. They were talking to Israel and stuff, and I didn't know what the fuck, So, like I said, I revisit it, right? Or what I think to be it. A couple of scriptures or whatever. Because 3 hours ain't long enough. You can't watch the whole Bible in 3 hours. You know how many hours you gotta really put in to get through the whole thing? It ain't 3. So I know that wasn't the entire Quran. Now, my point of what I'm making is the Quran, that the scripts that I found from it immediately starts talking to the Israelites, right? And I was like, okay, I'm wiser now. I know who Israel is now. And I was like, whoa, I'm intrigued by this book again. And then it started talking about Ishmael, and I know who Ishmael is now because I studied the Bible. And I know that he's the brother, he's Abraham's son. The guy that like found the Lord first, the first guy that ever spoke to the Lord and got down, started the crew. And it even says in there that Abraham was going to be the father of different nations. And Ishmael would be one of those people. Now, Ishmael would be the progenitor of the Islamic people. So when I seen that, and I know what I know now, and I was like, wait up. So when I connected dots, that means... You know what that means, right? Who's your daddy? Anyway... It also said they know who the fake ones are. They literally say it. They call them by their name. I won't. You know who they are. Use no. Use. It rhymes with use. Now, when I seen that, and they said it was saying about how don't trust them. And that the Lord puts you under all these punishments for your transgressions. And that they have to allow you to wake up yourself and go back to the Lord yourself before they can help you. Now, when I seen that, it made me think of an old YouTube video I watched a long time ago about Israeli news. And I'm watching this Israeli news or whatever, and the guy says this Israeli like prime minister or president, I forget, but he says the real Jews were black. They left black and then they came back white. and he said that's why they beef with them. And I was like, whoa. When I connect all these things together, it just opens a lot of thoughts of thinking like, wow, what's really going on in the world? Who's really who, and who knows? Sorry about the ramble,
But I just had to let some of that off my chest. Wanted to talk about yesterday's video a little bit and give a little apology or whatever in case I hurt anybody's feelings. And I just had these thoughts on my head, and I wanted to make this video because I made it a while ago and had to erase it. And I just want to give you guys something to think about. Maybe you might run into some information about some of these things I talk about, and you may find out better answers than I get, and then you can comment and correct me, because the Lord knows all men need correction. No matter who you are, no matter what you're studying, and no matter how great you're at it, there's so much to life that you can't even focus on doing everything right and be able to do everything right. You know what I mean? Like, you can only do so much in one day. So, instead of trying to be the best at all things, try to be the best at what's most helpful to your life. That's what I'm starting to realize. Watching a lot of these dedication videos and a lot of videos about the mentality, I only bring these videos up so you will go watch them yourself. If you really want to do better in your life, you gotta change the way you think, because you probably were never taught the correct way of how to think. And, you could blame your parents and all of that. And they could blame their parents, and then they could blame their parents. So blaming people ain't gonna get nobody nowhere. You have to identify that that's where the source of the problem started, and now you have a chance to overcome that. And even if you don't overcome it all the way, correcting whatever you can is always good, and it's gonna help your life. So, all love, all praise to the Most High.